Alright guys, Spider-Man 4 continues to head straight towards production, and we have some big news to talk about. We all thought, or at least I kind of thought, that if Marvel was going to cast SADIE SINK, it would be as Jean Grey. And that still might be the case, although I think this news here kind of puts a dampener on that. But we'll talk about the possibilities of who SADIE SINK might be playing, because yes, it is all but confirmed. And I say all but confirmed because I have to reiterate here that this is coming from one of the reputable sources in the movie industry. It's coming from Deadline, I believe. And when sources like Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, or Variety break news like this, it is almost always guaranteed to be true, at least at the time, because who knows, SADIE SINK might back out and whatnot. So again, just at the time, right now, it seems like this is the case. And it looks like SADIE SINK is joining the MCU. Not only is she joining the MCU, and it wasn't in the rumored X-Men film, it looks like. It's going to be in Spider-Man 4. Let me read this first paragraph here. This first paragraph, I think, has everything that we need to talk about. And then we'll talk about who SADIE SINK could possibly be playing in Spider-Man 4. So here we go. Quote, with production set to start later this year on the next installment in the Spider-Man franchise, series star Tom Holland looks to have found a new co-star. Co-star is interesting, by the way, because that indicates a substantial role. That's just me. I'm just talking here. Anyways, a new co-star. One who is no, quote, stranger to popular IP. Get it? Because Stranger Things. Anyways, sources tell Deadline that Stranger Things star SADIE SINK is set to join the sequel from Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios. Holland is already set to return as Peter Parker. Marvel and Sony had no comment. So, okay. That's the news. And it's pretty big news, because the question then becomes, immediately, who is she going to play? We know that Zendaya is coming back, or at least it's all but confirmed that Zendaya is coming back, but it looks like she's going to be having a somewhat reduced role. It looks like Euphoria Season 3 is going to be filming later on in this year, so it looks like her role, whatever it is going to be a little bit less than what it would have been otherwise, and that's all well and good. So who is SADIE SINK going to be playing? I saw some articles making some guesses here, and I'll put out a couple theories of my own that honestly aren't maybe more just analyzing the theories that are out there to see how much I buy into them. So number one, let's talk about Jean Grey. Could she be Jean Grey? Yeah, I think so. However, is it likely? I think her being in Spider-Man 4 makes it vastly less likely. I think, introducing a character like Jean Grey in a Spider-Man 4, that could work, right? I mean, we live in a universe where we got a Thor Hulk movie, right? Basically, we got a Doctor Strange Spider-Man movie. Like, these character combinations don't always have to make the most sense, right? For them to be interesting. So I could see it. That would make some sense to me. Sure, why not? Is it likely that you introduce Jean Grey in Spider-Man 4? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, although if it takes place on Battleworld, who even knows what's going to happen at that point? So maybe. I think it's not as likely anymore, though. So there's that. Mary Jane Watson. This one I'm going to rule out entirely. If she wasn't redheaded, guys, we would not be thinking about this at all. And that's for one simple reason. Zendaya basically did the MJ thing already. It would be so ridiculous, in my opinion, if we had MJ, right? MJ, Michelle Jones, but MJ before, and we moved to Mary Jane Watson, the other MJ, the quote-unquote original MJ. That's silly. That's ridiculous. Again, the only reason we're talking about it in that way is because she's redheaded. And yeah, I mean, is it a little interesting that they cast one of the most talented young redheaded actresses? Sure, but any actress could dye their hair red. It doesn't have to be a redheaded actress, I don't think. It doesn't matter. Like, that kind of stuff can totally be redone with hair dye and prosthetics and stuff. So that doesn't matter to me. So the next option that I've been seeing, Gwen Stacy. And yeah, sure, the irony is there. You cast one of the most talented young redheaded actresses out there to dye her hair blonde to be Gwen Stacy. But it's very possible, right? It is very possible if we're looking at a new love interest in the wake of the memory spell, right? In Spider-Man No Way Home that he doesn't remember, or that Zendaya's MJ doesn't remember him. It's possible that, he looks for another love interest or whatnot. So sure, could she be Gwen Stacy? I think this is probably the most likely out of all the options thus far. But the other one that's been floated around that's somewhat Spider-Man adjacent is Black Cat. I don't know if I see this one personally, and I don't really have any basis for this other than I don't personally know what I would look for in an actress to play Black Cat. The last time we got a Black Cat, and it wasn't even really Black Cat, was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Felicity Jones, who really wasn't Black Cat. She was more just Felicia. And I don't know, it's definitely possible that SADIE SINK is playing Black Cat. So again, a lot of intrigue here. It looks like, they're using the word co-star, and usually these articles don't use those words lightly. So they usually mean pretty much exactly what they're saying. So I would take this to mean that SADIE SINK is going to have a pretty significant role in the film. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be his new best friend, new love interest, new superhero, new mutant. I don't even know. But guys, I think this is very exciting news because this is a film, Spider-Man 4, that I am rooting for so hard. I love all 3 Spider-Man films in the MCU, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. And I am rooting for this film. And you get good talent. You get good talent in any capacity. And Sadie Sink is a talent. She's a fantastic actress. And I'm on board. Sign me up. So guys, what do you think about the news that Sadie Sink is joining the MCU officially, unofficially, reportedly, as mystery character? Who do you think she's going to play in Spider-Man 4? Let me know in the comments down below.